In this video, let's explore Language Playground. Now, Language Playground basically allows you to analyze and summarize using the large language model natural language processing capabilities. So, to start with, like say, you might have seen in Teams, Microsoft Teams, how the meetings get summarized, right? Or if you want to extract some information from a specific text. Okay, this we have seen in Azure Cognitive Services, whereby you specify a text and then from that particular sentence or a word, some information get extracted. Like say, if I want to know how many words are there in a sentence, or how many vowels are there, or maybe I'll just say I want to extract the objects within the sentence, or if I want to say I want to extract information. Now the information can be a personally identifiable information. Say if I want to extract a say credit card information, or if I want to extract a Medicare number or a passport number, or for India we have a PAN card, or uh, Aadhaar card, or for US I'll say social security number from a set of text. Now why do you need all these things? Because this is useful if you want to check from a compliance perspective or a security perspective. If you want to scan through a set of text and precisely specify whether this information contains these set of context or not, like if anyone is trying to steal the information, or if anyone trying to sabotage the information, or if anyone trying to take that information and then send it to some different system. So if someone is writing out an email, and then if email contains say some confidential information from the company, then you can make use of this particular model, so that you can track before even that information is passed from your uh, environment to the external environment. So Language Playground, it will analyze and summarize using LLM powered NLP capabilities. It has various modules. So one of them would be to summarize the key information from the text. There's another module to extract information from the text. uh, Say, take for example, there is a Teams meeting. Now within a Teams meeting, say if the meeting runs for 30 minutes, so then there is an audio from that Teams meeting that will be converted into a text, so the transcript. And then once you read through that transcript, you can actually, the system will recap the conversation, like what exactly happened in the meeting, how many people attended the meeting, what was the central point of the meeting, and how the meeting got concluded. So segmenting the long meeting into chapters. So if you have a huge meeting, like say if the meeting has gone for 3 hours, so then it will even do this further categorization, like segmenting the long meeting into chapters. Also, it can summarize the issues or resolution. Now, why it is useful is because if the person has not attended the meeting and the meeting has went for 3 hours, and if the user does not want to see the recording for the next 3 hours, the user can utilize this information to summarize the issues or resolution. So this is pretty much useful during in the customer care scenarios. Okay, so take for example, if your colleague is working on some case and they have a conversation with the customer, and that conversation went on for an hour, and you as a supervisor now just want to know what has happened in that particular meeting, and you were not part of that meeting, so you can like summarize the issue or resolution, and then you can further act on, and then you can provide your valuable input to your colleagues, so that the issue can get fixed easily and quickly. uh, it also identifies sensitive information from the text, as I mentioned to you, like if a uh, text has a credit card based information, or any personally identifiable information, or any secure information which you classify from your organizational context, then those all things can be uh, extracted from the text and identified. Extract label or health information, so this is also useful, so I'm going to show you some couple of examples with regards to that as well. Right. So, what are the capabilities? So, it will summarize the text, it will summarize the conversation, extract PII, personally identifiable information from the text or from a conversation, extract the health information. So, the possibility is endless. These are like some of like 6 items which I have listed over here, but then there are many other things which language model will help you in attaining. Now, these are some of the items which you see over here, like extract PII from text, extract PII from conversation, extract health information, summarizing the text, summarizing the conversation, Summarize for call center. And then this is how the playground will look like. So I'm going to just give you a brief about how to utilize this playground, and then once you are well versed with that, then you can use that deployment and make use that within your custom web application or any other application which you prepare. Right, so let's jump into the demo. So portal.azure.com. So here, if you do not have Azure AI Foundry, or you may have not created Azure AI Foundry, make sure that you go through the previous video where I have explained how to create a project, a hub, and then deploy a model. Now I've already done that, so I have whole bunch of hubs, projects, services deployed. I will make use of one of the project which I have created, which will allow me to launch the Azure AI Foundry Studio. Now once I'm in the studio, I will get various options on the left side. Now playground is the area whereby you can play with various models, play with various capabilities, and then once you are satisfied, then you can, like, finalize your the model usage, and then you can start deploying, and then it will start giving you the endpoints. Playground. So in playground, I will cover each and every playground in the video. I've already covered most of them, but today's topic is language playground. So language playground is all about operating on the text, extracting information, summarizing the information, and as you see over here, I'll explain you this how this will look like. Now this is the main area. Now it is classified into multiple sections. So first part is here is a selector, so you can select various playground. We are in Azure, we are in language playground. These are the menu items. These are like the various capabilities. Okay, so depending on whatever is your use case, you can define that. And also once you select one of the capability, you can configure the parameter, and then this is the test bed. Here you can exactly test. Okay, so this is how you read through this. Now I've explained in the previous video that if you want to change a project, you can change the project from here. If you want to see all hubs and project, you can go over here, and this is the main area management center whereby you can configure various other connections, or if you want to see various hubs projects which have been already created in Azure AI Foundry, you can go ahead and configure those. Now to start with, extract PII from text. So what it does is, like, it will extract the personally identifiable information from the text. Now on the left hand side, you have an option to select the API version. So this is a preview or GA version. So I'll select the preview version. Uh, Model version. So you can select whatever is the model version. Text language. So you can work on multiple languages. So as you see over here, these are like different set of languages which are currently supported. So it's huge. Select types to include. So you can select the type what you want to include, so like Austria identity card or Australia bank account number. So if for banking industry, you can make use of bank account number, or a ABN number, or like Australian business number, or a company number, or a driver's license number, or medical account number. So depending on the country and depending on the identifiable type, Microsoft Azure is providing you all this information, right? It's a huge list. Now if the list is not sufficient for you, there is an option to even, like, custom setup. Okay, so you can have your own identifier, and then you can even track and trace those identifier, provided you train the model accordingly. Okay, now here I'm not going to show you all these simple examples. I will just make use of sample, but then this is important to understand. Specify redaction policy. So if you have some personally identifiable information, then you can mask with character or mask with entity type, or you have an option to just do not redact that particular text, and you have a redaction character. So these are the set of redaction character. Usually it is star or asterisk. Some people use hash as well. So this is the option provided. Extract protected health information. So you can turn on and off depending on if you have that health information presented. Now from a sample, let's make use of sample. Say, take for example email review. Now I'll just select email review, and then these are like some sample email provided by Microsoft. Okay, now this is a simple email which is Mateo Gomez is visiting the Contorso restaurant with spouse for anniversary, and this is just like a fictitious example. Now what happens over here is, like, we are telling extract PII from text, right? Now if I run this, what will happen on the details over here? It has extracted some information. Now the information which is it has extracted is dear sir, madam. Now we know that this is of the type person, right? So it has extracted that. Then the person, it has identified that Mateo Gomez is the context, like the person who is writing this email. Okay. And if you scroll down, you will see spouse. Then it has configured date because there is a mention of Thursday over here. So this is a date with a confidence of 96%. Then there is an address, a confidence of 100%. So it has extracted address. It has extracted phone number as well. So as you see over here, it has extracted the phone number. So it has giving you the phone number extraction. And also there was a mention of last Thursday. So it has extracted date. So as you see, like different entity types are being extracted from here, right? Now here, say take for example, this is the text. Okay. So here we have an option to hide PII, personally identifiable information. So if I just type in hide PII, you will see that this is marked with asterisk, right? Because we have selected the specify redaction characters. Like if you would have said hash, then it will updated it with hash, so I need to run that model again and then it will do accordingly. Okay. Now, as you see over here, we get an output. We This is the input in text, and then there is an similar representation in JSON as well. So JSON, you have an option to edit the input. So you can come here and you can edit the input, and then if you want to just diverge from the uh, sample which is available, you can make use of that. Okay, and then you can start typing. You can put the credit card number, and then let's see whether the credit card is getting tracked or not. Similarly, we'll see another example, like say banking. Now in banking, here we have all this information like the social security, date of birth, personal address, LinkedIn account, Swift code, etc. Right? Now all this information are there. Now if I just click on run, what will happen is like it will first identify all this information, and we want to hide the PII. Okay, now we have an option to hide the PII. As you see over here, we have an option to hide the PII. So PII means like the person identifiable information, Mateo name will be hidden, and then we can do all these things from here, right? So if you want to analyze some text, you can go ahead and do that. Now going back to the next one, extract PII from conversation. So if you have a customer service chat transcript, like agent customer, so this is like a chat transcript. Now if as a supervisor, if I got hold of this particular chat transcript, I can go ahead and then see this information. Now if as a supervisor I do not want to see PII or those information which are pretty much secure, I can select mask with character and specify the redaction character. Now let's first do one thing. Now I have this chat conversation, right? Now I want to see what my colleagues have said to that particular customer. Okay, and I'm investigating some issue as a supervisor. So I got this information, I'll just click on run, and then from here I can extract various things. Like I've seen that there is a mention of address, Washington Boulevard. Then there is a mention of person, Smith. Then there is an email address. So there's a contact base information which was presented, right? Now here, as you see over here, this is like it has already identified the person, identified the number. So if I want to hide all this information from the supervisor, I can go ahead and do that, right? So this is where you basically set all the configuration parameters, right? And then you will be able to process the information with the model. So the first one was just a simple text. This is all about conversation or like the chat, you know. Uh, you want to hide, you can hide the details over here. Now extract health information. Now if you could extract health information, we have a sample of say short prescription, or maybe I'll just say short prescription over here. So the patient needs to take 100 mg of ibuprofen. So take for example, if this GP has given the short prescription, and if I want to analyze this information, here, as you see, we have an option to return the output in FHIR structure. Okay, so again, this is like a medical industry standard. So fast healthcare interoperability resource structures. There is an option for that. You can turn that on. And then you can specify the document type, whether it's a clinical trial or a discharge summary or just a progress note or just a consulting. So I can just say it's just like a consulting, and I run this text, okay, against this model. So once I run this, as you see over here, this has now taken the context of medical domain. Okay, now it has correctly identified what is the dosage of the medicine. So it's 100 mg, it's a category at dosage. Then we have ibuprofen, that's a medication name, and then potassium, so that's a medication name. And then here it has identified the dosage, it has identified the medication name, and all those things, right? So these all things are now linked, right? Now we have an option to hide the relationship, so I'll just click on hide relationship, then it will remove that uh, bit of graphic. And here dosage of medication for ibuprofen 100 mg, so it has correctly identified whether confidence of 100% or 99%, as you see over here. And this is how you can utilize that language, basically language model. Summarizing the text, so another example. So before we go into summarize text, let me show you another example of patient report. So if this is a patient report, then if I run this particular model, then here you will see the date and time and what it is related to. This is related to CAD, coronary artery disease. What is the confidence level? uh, who's this person? There's like 54-year-old gentleman, so it is identified the gender, it has identified the age, and then the complications, like when it all started, progressive angina, past several months, and then various other things like RC, family history, and all those things, you know. So it has already identified all this information, the symptoms, the family background, family history with regards to health, the qualifier of the condition, the course of the condition, and how the body side of condition. So as you see over here, it has identified course of condition, diagnosis, you know. So all these things can be extracted. Coming back to summary text over here, so this is also simple. You have a document, you just need to summarize that. Okay, so I can go to say Wikipedia or any other website and then copy some content, like say Australia, you know, and then I can just say, let me copy say some of the content from Australia over here, you know. And then I can just give it to the language playground over here. Okay, and we can specify what things you want to configure. So as you see over here, extractive summarization, I want to summarize this particular text in say 3 sentence. Okay, I don't want this huge text, and I want a summary abstractive summarization as well. Okay, so I want the summary length as a short or a single sentence, or maybe I'll just say short sentence. So I can go ahead and do that. So I can put some text over here, and then I can run this model. Now, I'll not use that text, but I'll make use of a sample, say news article. So news article, this is one of the news articles. Say this is a huge text and you do not have time to read all those things. You can do an extractive summarization in 3 sentence and you get a summary length of short. So if you want to see that in short, you just run that content. And here you will see 3 sentence summarization and one abstractive summarization output. So 2 sections, extractive summary and abstractive summary over here. Extractive summary and abstractive summary. Now abstractive summary is like if someone wants to just understand what this 10 page document is. It is just talking about Microsoft is planning to acquire some organization for something per share, and then it is just giving you some, this is like just like a fictitious example. Okay, and that's it, you know, it is just giving you those information. So similarly, you can run all these different kind of content, and this is just like a simple text, but then it can read through the document and then it can summarize those information. Like say if you want to summarize a policy document issued by the government, and if you do not have time to read all these things, you can make use of this particular model. Summarize conversation. So if you have multiple speakers within the conversation, so this is like transcript from say some chat, you know. So there is Bill Gates, there's Kevin Scott, and these are the people who are like conversing. And if you want to just summarize the information, if you see this parameters over here, there is a general summarization. So you want a recap, you want a chapter title, or you want a narrative, so you can select those. I'll say I just want recap for a moment, and then I'll run this. So if I run this, then it will give me the recap of what has happened within that conversation. So the speaker, a high profile AI advocate, discussed the advancement of AI tech developed by Microsoft and OpenAI, and then it has given me this information, right? So if I want to know the chapter title and narrative, I have an option to select that, and then if I run that, then in the output I will be able to get the recap. I will be able to get the chapter title. I'll be able to get those narratives as well. So as you see over here, these are the inputs. Okay, and then these are the chapter title and narrative which the system has generated, right? uh, Summarize for call center, I'm not going to explain that. Again, we can make use of whether a resolved case or unresolved case, which is just one example of chat. Again, this is useful for a call center perspective. This is also on the basis of, recapping issue resolution, those kind of things. So once you run this model, based on the chat, your system can decide or decipher the information. It will give you the recap, what has happened. Resolutions, it has also given you the resolution on basis of whatever has chat has occurred, and the issue which the customer has raised. Now this is all about extract information and summarize information. So it is categorized. So we have seen all the six different I'd say six different capabilities. Some fall under extract information and some fall under summarize information. So depending on your scenario, if you have that use case, you can go ahead and utilize those models. So this is all about language playground. Thanks for watching.